Hey everybody, this is Kyle Newton here for another episode of JMO with Newt. Instead of doing race reviews now, I'm starting a new series of blogs called How I Came to Like a Certain Driver. Like it'll be called How I Came to Like, and then a certain driver's name. So for this first episode, the first driver would it wouldn't be right for me to do a blog about why I like Kasey Kahne, because he's my #1 driver in all motorsports, and it's just right this way for me to do, for him to be. It's just natural that he'll be the first one that I'll talk about in this series. How I came to like Kasey Kahne. Well, it started whenever I was starting to get into NASCAR. I always liked Jeff Gordon and and then I came to like Tony Stewart, and then Kasey Kahne. I discovered him, and then I actually fell in love with one of his cars, the Mopar paint job. That's what really, that's kind of what started. That's kind of what started the whole Kasey Kahne deal for me. Then I looked further into Kasey Kahne, and I saw that he's a really nice guy, and he's really fan friendly, and I've heard nothing but positive things about Kasey Kahne. So after seeing the way that he's handled a lot of the turmoil and stuff that he's been through in his career, I believe he's handled everything, just about everything, the right way. I think that for me, Kasey Kahne is an obvious choice of my favorite driver because of how cool and how nice he is and everything. And the guy has manners. The guy was obviously raised right. Kasey Kahne was obviously raised right. After watching his documentary, he always talked about how his parents taught him responsibility and everything. I guess all the drivers learn that at one point in time, but Kasey, he's kind of like me. He's kind of a good boy whenever he was growing up. So yeah, Kasey kind of reminds me a little bit of myself, but he's a lot braver than I am, and a lot better driver than I am too. But you'd think that once you find out that your driver is a favorite among females, that'd kind of be a turn-off toward a driver. I don't really let it bother me. So what? A big portion of his fan base is females. Who cares? I met a lot of Kasey Kahne fans that were dudes. It's not weird. It's not weird to see a guy Kasey Kahne fan, and Kasey is just a naturally cool dude. I mean, there's a lot of people who say that they like Kasey Kahne, and the people who say that they don't like Kasey Kahne don't really have a good excuse not to like him. They just choose not to like him, and I think that's kind of dumb myself. But I believe that Kasey is one of the class acts of the sport. He reminded me of a younger Mark Martin a little bit. Yeah, Kasey, he's I liked what I saw in the Rise of Cain movie, his documentary movie that he made a few years ago. I liked what I saw about his work ethic and the way that what he's committed to racing. He lives to drive, and that's really good. That's really good for a race car driver. That means he's passionate about what he does, and I admire that. Same reason I like Kyle Busch so much is Kasey's a passionate race car driver, and a lot of times on off weeks he tries to find something to race with, and occasionally he shows that he's human just like the rest of us, because occasionally he likes to slow down and take vacations. But Kasey's just I've always thought Kasey was a cool guy, and he's not arrogant at all. You make him mad enough, he'll say stuff, but he'll probably run his mouth just a tiny bit. But he's not near as bad as a lot of those drivers out there. Like, well, I'm not going to give any examples, but and he always admits his mistakes, and he's not perfect by any means, but he's a pretty great driver, pretty cool person. So that's pretty much why I like Kasey Kahne, is because of his personality, pretty much, and the fact that he can drive the wheels off of anything that he can get his hands on. But yeah, poor guy. He's had a lot of bad luck over the years, and things are finally starting to turn around for him now that he's joined Hendrick Motorsports. So I've always seen the potential there. A lot of people haven't. A lot of people have underestimated and underrated Kasey, but he's starting to prove everybody that he's got what it takes now, and that's one of the it's what I like about Kasey. There's been times where he proved people wrong. Like in 2009, there's a lot of people who thought that he was going to fall out of the chase for the second year in a row, and lo and behold, he made the chase in 2009 by winning Atlanta. That helped him along the way, and looks like he's in a pretty good spot to make the chase for this year in 2012. So, but anyway, that's my blog about Kasey Kahne and how I came to like him. It all started with the Mopar paint job and a little bit of research, and I'm a Kasey Kahne fan. Thank you for listening, and God bless.